Okay, everyone, well, welcome to this first ever and hopefully not the only ALT interview. I am Austin Lance. I'll do a short introduction about myself. I have been in ALT for about 7 years. This is my seventh year um, in Japan. I came to Japan with thoughts of only being in Japan for about 1 year. And I met my wife, and one thing led to another. I ended up here for 7 years, and I recently bought a house, so it looks like I'm not leaving anytime soon. Currently, we're waiting for my uh, interviewee, Matthew, to show up. He's still offline at the moment, but I'm a little early. So, anyways, let me give you a little background about what this hopefully will become. Um, Hopefully, this will become a monthly or every 2 months thing where I will interview ALTs. Currently in Japan, I'd like to interview other ALTs in other countries about their life in Japan and teaching English in Japan. There are a lot of really good bloggers out there who are ALTs, such as Tokyo Sam. He doesn't do that anymore. There's Give Me a Flake Band, and many others that I can't honestly list right now. Many who I have watched on YouTube and I've seen through other ALTs, training videos and whatnot. So it's with that I've decided to try and there's not really much of a community between ALTs, and that's why I wanted to try and build it. Because in Japan there's JET ALTs and then there's everyone else. And JET ALTs, they're like think of it like a university. There's the Greeks. They're the Alpha Phi Kappa something, the jock Greeks. And then there's everyone else, the Goths and people who aren't in Greek community in university. That's how it kind of is with JET ALTs. Now, don't get me wrong, JET ALTs are wonderful people, but their training and everything they receive from the government kind of helps them look down on people. And not that they do, but it's kind of, there's that kind of we're better than you sometimes vibe to it. But in general, all the JET ALTs and every other ALT I've met are wonderful people. So that's why I kind of wanted to bring everyone together and not only share ideas, but bring in, share ideas and bring in their experiences. So new ALTs coming into Japan and old ALTs can connect together. And so that's what I'm hoping this will become. So unfortunately, it doesn't look like my friend Matt, who is currently living in Kyoto, doesn't look like he is coming on anytime soon. I don't know where he is. But anyways, I'll give you a little bit of background about myself. Since I am an ALT, I will share my own story with you. So I came to Japan, like I said, in 2009. Before that, I graduated in the University of Northern Colorado in 2007, I believe. And I graduated with mass communications major, and I was training to be a radio DJ or a television host. Either one. I'm more PR than anything, more behind the scenes than anything. And I had the dream to come to Japan for a long time. That was something that I had wanted to do for many years. My grandmother is Japanese, so I'm a quarter, and I've always had that connection, that want, that need to come to Japan and connect. So I tried 3 times with the JET program and got denied every time. I'm pretty sure that's because my complete lack of anything. And then there was also there's no experience at all. So I think that might have been what set me back. So I tried and tried, and then I got numerous jobs working at hotels and at lighting stores and the UPS store. Oh, sorry, for a while, until I finally landed a job with the Hart Corporation. Wonderful, wonderful corporation. Don't get me wrong. Um, and they brought me here to Miyagi. This is where I live, Miyagi. And they hooked me up with great schools. I had 17 schools, but it was mostly elementary school. So once every year or so, once a year or so, I would go to each elementary school. And my main was junior high school. So that was my introduction to being an ALT, and I was fortunate enough to get stuck with very capable teachers with incredible English ability. And at that time, my wife was working as a assistant teacher for junior high school. She was a recent college graduate, and she has her license for teaching in junior high schools. So she was being a student teacher there, and that's where I was having a spaghetti party at my apartment. That's where I met her. So, and at first, of course, well, this is kind of personal, but we didn't like each other, and eventually we started to like each other. Let's see. And then from there, I joined. Once I met my wife, I was really I was looking for ways to improve as a teacher and improve as an ALT, and I came across JALT. JALT is the Japanese Association of Language Teachers, which I became a member, and I'm currently the Miyagi ALT liaison, and which just means I email all the local English schools around the town and say, hey, we have a meeting here, come on in and send your ALTs. We'd love to have them. And to this date, there's been like 7 ALTs, so 1 per year. But that's my story. Now, has JALT helped me? Oh, it has. If you're an ALT and you're looking to come to Japan and you're looking to, really actually become a teacher, then join a program like JALT or ETJ, English Teachers of Japan. They're wonderful. Even something like Toastmasters, which there is Toastmasters there, would be wonderful. Toastmasters is done all in English, by the way, which is great. So, anyways, I guess I'll tell you about my life in Japan. Since it looks like no one's coming, that's okay. So, let's see. My life in Japan. As I said, my grandmother is Japanese, so I've always had the, Japanese food and everything pat and done. I've been used to it forever. When I came to Japan, probably the things that really surprised me were, one, the toilets. You guys probably heard, those of you who are watching, have probably heard that Japanese toilets are pretty not advanced, but pain in the butt is what I call it. They all have the bidets and the butt shower. And when I first came, when you go to a fancy restaurant or something, there's a big box on the wall. It's like probably a day big, and it's got 2 to 6 buttons on top. Plus, it's got a little circle in the middle and buttons all around and a blinking display. Well, when I first came, I didn't know what to do, so I touched something and thought it would spray here, or it would say something in Japanese, or the sound of music would start coming. And it took me forever to. I remember I probably spent 10 minutes in a bathroom just learning how to flush the toilet at one point. So that was interesting. But uh, in the less fancy places and most of the modern homes, there's a little off to the side of the seat. There's a little just panel with the butt and bidet, butt shower and bidet, and the stop button, and that's about it. And one thing that's very interesting, I come from America, from Colorado. I'm not sure if you can see that. Colorado. Ah, man. Anyways, I come from America, Colorado, and there our toilets are mostly, for the most part, low flow toilets. They take as small amount of water as possible, and the toilets here, they're normal toilets, but on the top they have a faucet that comes out like this. And at first I thought it was for moisture or something, but living in Japan, you don't need moisture. There is so much moisture in the air. It's just insane. So I didn't understand it, and it took me about 2 years to finally figure it out that there's a little towel rack always by the toilet. I thought, well, now that's weird. What's that for? And it literally took me forever. My wife had to tell me, you wash your hands there. You don't go to the sink. Because the sink, the washroom's in a completely different room. So there's the washroom, then there's a separate room, the toilet, and the separate room for the bath, the shower and the bath. So it's completely separated, which is completely different than America. So anyways, you wash the faucet on the top, you wash your hands, and you dry your hands on the towel. That was probably the biggest surprise to me. Another surprise to me, sushi wasn't a big surprise. Nothing like that was a big surprise to me, because I had that in Colorado. I've been exposed to it at one point from my grandma. So sushi, sashimi, natto. Okay, I hadn't gotten. So when I came with the Heart Corporation, we were in Mito. That's our head office. And we went there, and I stayed at the Mito Riverside Hotel. And there, we had breakfast. And I remember the first breakfast we had, we all went down. We got rice and miso soup, roke, and all these different things. So we were munching them down, and there's this little white. Ours was a circular box. There was a little box, and I remember picking it up. I sat down with the other ALTs who were in training at the time. Do you know what that is? No, what is it? It's natto. Do you know what natto is? Oh no. So I opened it up and I smelled it. And if you've never smelled natto before, it's an overpowering smell or it's rotting. It's a fermented soybeans, and it smells like very strong soybeans. It's like someone has condensed smelled soybean into a super powerful odor. And you put soy sauce on it and hot mustard. You mix it up. When you mix it up, because it's fermented, when soybeans get fermented, they get a sticky outer laying, and it's all sticky. And when you mix it up and you pull your chopstick out, and it's really stringy, it goes, yeah. And so you have to take your chopsticks like this and go like that to keep wrapping it around until it disappears. And that's my first thing of natto. And I didn't know you're supposed to put it on top of rice. You put the natto and you put it on top of rice, and then you eat it. I just had plain natto from Mito. In Japan, Mito is the #1 place for like good natto, super powerful natto. So that was my first experience with natto. Not something I was really looking forward to. Not something I really was in the mood for. But eventually, I got it. Sorry, I was checking if that had been on. But nothing. So anyways, not though the toilets, and probably one thing that really got me. Back in America, in Colorado, we have tissue, the big box tissue like this, like this, um, and this is what we use. And we have big pocket tissue, little Kleenex ones about that big, but we never use them. I mean, when you're in elementary school, you use them. That's about it. But here, when you walk around in big cities anywhere, politicians or people handing out cosmetics will always have small tissue packets with the insert inside of it. So you look at it and it says DHC something or other, and that's what they'll give you on the handout. Just they have massive boxes of these things and just pass them out. I ended up with a whole suitcase full when I first moved here, because when you first move to a new place, the viruses will just knock you on your butt, and I got knocked on my butt. So, oh well. And so I use the tissue a lot, but it's just so wasteful to me. I don't know. And another thing that really got me was the wrapping in Japan. So I don't have anything here. In America, at least, I don't know about other places, but in America, you go and you buy cookies, and for the most part, cookies are unwrapped, are in just the big box, and then you open it up and you pull it out, and they're all just there so you can eat it. Here, they don't do that. Even Oreos, they don't do that. Everything's individually wrapped, or wrapped in 5 or 6 cookies in a row. Like Oreos, you'll get the same package of Oreos, but when you open it up, there's 4 rows of just, and instead of 4 rows of Oreos just laying out there for you to eat, there's 4 rows of Oreos that are wrapped up in their own wrapper, which is a complete waste. And I don't understand why Japan does it, but it does. So that was my introduction to Japanese life. Now, currently, my life in Japan is great. I've gotten accustomed to everything except for the garbage, because I recently moved, and in Japan you have communal garbage. You have to separate everything, or else there's no consequence at all. But they won't accept some things some days, or they only do burnable trash on Mondays and recyclables the other days. And you have to follow that, or your trash won't be taken. I've had my trash laying outside for forever. So anyways, yeah, sorry, I'm rambling. That's probably the one thing that I still have trouble with. So that's my initiation into my life as an ALT. In Japan, sorry. Currently, the life in Japan is good. Being an ALT. So I think one thing I wanted to hit on with Mr. Rowe, if he were to be on, I think he's not coming on. Anyways, I wish I had some other ALTs to get on here, but none of them are on Hangouts at the moment. But being an ALT is a good job. If you're lucky enough to find a direct hire job, you are one of the lucky ones. When I came on with Hart Corporation the first time, it was fairly good pay, and I had summers off. So I remember the first summer I didn't do anything because I sent all my money home I spent all my money and sent all my money home to pay for student help, pay for student. So that was about it. I stayed in Miyagi the whole time. I probably went just driving here and there, and that's it. I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought. But currently, I am a direct hire Board of Education direct hire ALT, and my job is amazing. Um, as an ALT, direct hire or not, your job is to expose not only how students communicate in class and with you outside of class, but to expose them to different cultures. And of course, my culture is American. However, I do my best to always bring in different cultures. There's in your in the places that ALTs are, there's always international, more than one foreigner from different places. And so if you can connect with those people and you can connect with that community, that's a good way to do it. And I connect with people in Colorado and have pen pal systems set up. You have to be really careful with that, though. You have to get parents' permission and the school's permission, the Board of Education's permission, the teachers' permission, the school's permission, the parents' permission, and then the over there their permission and everything else. So there's at least what 7 things you have to take care of before you can even start, and then comes getting the kids to write and send back letters and whatnot. That was a chore. That took me 2 years to finally get off the ground in my school. So, as an ALT, you'll be delegated to activity guy or girl most of the time. So it's good to try new things. I went to a JALT meeting today, and I'll be making a video and putting this on later under my professional videos for a gentleman named Marco Brazil. If you've never heard of him, I would Google his name. He is an amazing teacher. For the past 7 years, I've been coming to JALT being inspired. And I remember the first thing that I learned in JALT was from Harry Wong, Dr. Harry Wong in Tokyo University. Sorry. And how to be a good teacher. And the first lesson was steal. Take ideas from different teachers and use them in your own class. And I've learned about TPR, total physical response, so having kids do gestures and getting up and moving around while they're learning and doing drills in different ways. And I had never seen it actually come together. Bring the physical and the drilling and committing everything together before. But today, the gentleman, Mr. Brazil, put it all together. So if you've never heard of him, please Google him. It's Marco Brazil. Wonderful, amazing guy. And he has a Facebook. He is, what is he doing? He's helping a town in the Philippines build schools at the moment. And he's got a Facebook. I'll look up the Facebook and put it in the description. I'll try and do it on this video and of my Marco Brazil video coming up once I get it edited. But yeah, if you check out his Facebook and send him some goodwill, or you could probably get involved as well. Get your students involved. That would be interesting to see how that works. That's what I'm going to do. So I'm all over the place. The goal of an ALT is to bring your students exposure to different cultures, and that's why I like people like Marco Brazil, because he's doing something across the seas, and I can show that to my students, and vice versa, and they can help him, and he can send students, photos over to us, and it's a good exchange. Get involved with your local international center. If you're in the middle of nowhere, take a day and go to your prefecture. I guarantee there's an international center somewhere in your prefecture. Miyagi. It's in Sendai, next to Aoba-jo. I know Saitama. I've been to the Saitama International Center. I've been to Tokyo International Center. Tokyo, oh man. If you're not taking full advantage of the international community around you, you're doing something wrong. Because it's not just about writing and drilling, it's about exposing them and using their English in different ways. This is why I started my YouTube channel, to expose my students to slang and let them learn outside of the classroom. That is why I started. So, yeah, life as an ALT is great. You need to push the boundaries. You need to learn how to do different things. Take old games and rip them apart and learn how to use them for grammar. Learn how to rip them apart and put them back together so they're useful for learning vocabulary, like duck, duck, goose. Marco Brazil showed something amazing today. He took duck, duck, goose and ripped it apart in front of us and put it back together where the students were having conversations while doing duck, duck, goose. I know it doesn't sound amazing to all you guys, but to me, it just blew my mind. Well, guys, I said this interview would go until 9:30, from 9:30 to 10, and we've got 6 minutes left. It looks like we have no comments. Like, I was hoping there'd be comments to questions and comments to ask, but looks like no one's going to be asking questions, so that's fine. And looks like Matt is not to. Unfortunately, it looks like it's just us. So I'm going to go ahead and end this a little early, if you don't mind me. If you don't mind me ending it early, I just want to give out a few different things, a few different helpful links and things before I go. First off, Matthew Rowe, a lovely gentleman from the UK. If you Google his name, he's got multiple books out. They're not, they're novels, and I really wanted him to come and talk about that. There's one particular novel he did with his students, and so if you Google his name in Amazon, put Matthew Rowe in Amazon, you should come up with a book he created with his students, which is just amazing. And also, I wanted to tell you about JALT. If you are interested, go to JALT.org. That is a lovely organization that has helped me, and I think can help any ALT who wants to, any teacher, but any JTE ALT, go to JALT.org. They can definitely help you with expanding your teaching horizons, and ETJ as well. I think they're more Miyagi based or Tokyo. I don't know, but ETJ. Just search them and you'll come up with a blue crest that has English, England, America, Britain crest. Lovely organization. The president is a great man. I've met him many times, and I'm proud to call him my friend. So ETJ, JALT, Matthew Rowe, and again, look up Marco Brazil online. I don't know, you might come up with a lot of hits for Brazil, but I don't know. I'll put a link to his Facebook page so you guys can look at what he's doing for the Philippine children in the village. And again, guys, so that's about all I wanted to talk about. We've got a couple minutes left, but there's no comments, and Matt isn't going to join us, it looks like. So I want to thank you all, the couple viewers who are there, for watching, and I hope that this was informative and you enjoyed it just a little bit. All in all, guys, I hope next time this will go a little bit better. I hope to have an ALT to interview but it'll be going about just like this, talking about the ALT's life, their impressions about Japan and teaching as an ALT, and their stories of triumphs and follies as an ALT. So, all in all, everyone, thank you very much for joining me. I really appreciate it, and I will talk to you next time. Keep an eye out for the Marco Brazil video coming out soon, and I will have some more student videos and teacher videos as well. All right, guys, that's all for now. Take it easy. Bye.